Greeting interwebs, this is Jackie K, and I just realized you guys are probably wondering, Jackie K, if these are really the new sprites, then how come they're not updated for the Pokemon previews? On the very bottom and below my character icon. Why are those still normal? Well, we're still in the works of that. Everyone here was just so excited to reveal the new sprites for you guys that we just had to start with what we got. I'm pretty sure the people working on the servers are working to update those sprites as we speak. Enough about that though, we have a battle to commentate. As you saw, I led with Chi, but it didn't work out quite well, so I decided to U-turn out of there. I got lucky enough to avoid the Will-O-Wisp with Chi, but not with Heavy Metal here, so much for that. I at least got the Stealth Rocks up, so I'm not too worried. I'm torn whether to stay in or just go out on the different Pokemon, and eventually I decided just to go for the Dragon Tail. Because the Sableye could be annoying. My opponent already swaps out on Vaporeon, so I guess the Dragon Tail works out to my advantage because I get a nice 50% chunk off on the Talonflame. I decided to go for Dragon Tail again, because if I can get it out before it heals, then it's completely worthless. It can't come in without dying to the Stealth Rocks. Unfortunately, it does have to roost, although I should have saw that coming. The Talonflame's only going to be weaker when it comes in next time though, so I'm not too worried about that roost recovery. Deciding what to do from here though. It takes a while, but I think I'm going to go into my Umbreon just to like Toxic Stall the Vaporeon, if it has to come down to that. What I don't realize is this Vaporeon is a bit of a Toxic Staller itself, so I go for my Toxic Mist, it gets the Toxic, but I do reflect the Toxic back onto it. So I get what I want in the end, even if it does result in my Umbreon not being able to Moonlight Stall all day. I go for the Confusion so I at least have something that works to my advantage. Around this point it's pretty clear that I'm not going to be doing much for my Umbreon out here. I guess I'll get one more Moonlight off to make sure I'm as high of health as possible. But I'll be swapping out, especially since the Vaporeon here has Wish, so this is just going to take a while. I decided to go into Chie because the Fake Out might actually work out with the stalling, and if I do get too hurt, I can always just U-turn out of there. But my opponent swaps right back into the Sableye, freaking double switching like he saw it coming. I just gotta go for U-turn again, even though I'm not gonna outspeed. Although, actually, no! Fooled y'all! April Fools! I actually swapped right into the Fire type instead of risking getting burned. Now, since I know how annoying the Sableye could be, I go for the Confuse Ray. And I'm planning on going for the Thunder Wave to like put it in a situation where it can't recover all its health back. However, things don't go that way. Yo, Mama so fast she 4-time resists the ice and fire attacks. Of course Toso's not gonna stand for an insult like that. Let's freaking get in there and burn the freaking thing, obliterate it. You're a freaking toaster of it, you should be able to do that. Nah, not quite, but I get the strong feeling that another overheat would be able to do the job. Doesn't help if it goes for the recover though. And with this Sableye out here, what am I gonna do? Well, the taunt's gone. No! I am so stupid! Why? The taunt was so obviously coming again. Your mama's so dumb she thought if we only be a light type. That's an interesting feature. I had no involvement with it, I will admit. But I'm glad that Pokemon Showdown is being a bit more lighthearted and less serious for all the newcomers in battling. Make it more fun for everyone. With random Your Mama jokes. Then I should have gone for this move right away. Taking out the Sableye early on, and it wouldn't have done so much damage to my team. But Swimmer Speed is not going to have anything to do with this, especially with that choice band, so I decided to go into Yin. And Yin's going to put in some work by doing what Yin does best. Setting up a few Calm Minds, and then releasing the power with Stored Power. So this swap is going to give me one free Calm Mind. However, this is the best play my opponent could probably do. It at least works out very well for him, because the Vaporeon is going to be able to poison me, so I can't just Moonlight Stall. And the one downside of Yin is that Yin has to be set up, and if Yin has to swap, the setups go away. So that was a good play. Probably didn't know what Yin could do, but that's the best way to counteract it. So the Vaporeon is going to go down to the Poison. I am confident I will at least be able to take out the Talonflame, and Yin will have done a good job if it takes out the Talonflame. Although, I should have realized that I would have got outsped, and it would probably have been better to go for the Moonlight that turn and let it take itself out, so Yin would last a little bit longer. However, this is the turn I decided to go for the Moonlight. I barely live, and it activates my weakness policy, so now Store Power is even more powerful. I don't think a Moonlight's gonna get me out of Toxic this time, so I decided just to sacrifice off Yin, get one last Store Power. I just barely lived. So this is definitely gonna take out the Alakazam. And it's my full team minus Yin versus 2 Pokemon. And you think I'd be in a good situation considering I have that fire type. I decided to start off with Chie because I need to save Toast for later on. And I'm not too worried about this Scizor. 1 high jump kick, maybe 2, should be plenty to take it out. And I get a little lucky with the critical there, but honestly, if I didn't take it out on 1 high jump kick, I would have been able to take it out on the second. Man, this Venusaur is really gonna surprise me. I guess my problem is at this point, I don't really have any means to do super effective damage against the Venusaur, besides Toast. So I'm kinda just hoping to whittle away the Venusaur, but that's not really gonna work out, and you will see why soon enough. I mean, it's poison, so I can't poison it, and it's got the Synthesis. So my best hope is to get it confused, and then just try to whittle it down, hope it keeps hurting itself in confusion, or that it'll just not be able to recover long enough for me to get a good overheat on it. As you can tell by the speed up, this takes a while, because it's going to constantly be able to recover, and with overheat, I will constantly be having my special attack drop, so I can't just do 2 overheats and take it out. I have to swap out, get back in, and with that time, the Venusaur can recover his health. Eventually I'm going to be like, dude, why did you not think of this before? Thunder Wave the darn Venusaur. That's not going to be today, though. That's going to be now, though. And now that it's paralyzed, I can see how much I can whittle it away before it gets taken out. I forget about the burn, or just, I tried to get some solid hit off. And I think I would have enough time to get some damage off before the burn finished me off. But I forgot that, like, Energy Ball could do a decent amount of damage. And as you can see, by being stuck with my Umbreon and Toast, this is all not working out too well for me. Sure, I can just keep swapping into Umbreon, but that just gives the Venusaur an opportunity to heal away any damage I took to it. And the fact that Poison doesn't take me out as soon as I like is a good sign of that. I'm just gonna tell you now that I lose the battle because of the Venusaur being able to recover itself. Parafusion does not win the day, folks. You rely on hacks, it's gonna hurt you in the end. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are happy that hacks did not prevail. I also have a confession to make. I did not make these sprites. I probably could make better sprites than this, but that would ruin the joke. What joke? Well, I kind of mentioned it beforehand. If not, go back for the video and listen closely. Today is a special day, and I think because of that, you should appreciate all the commentary in the video to the best of your ability. This is Jackie K, and this is what happens when you leave your video plans for April to the very last minute. If you enjoy Pokemon commentaries, you'll probably enjoy the other battle videos I've done more than this one. I've done other commentaries that are probably more entertaining in general. And if this is the first video you're seeing me, I hope and I pray that you'll come back to give me another chance.